It's been a little while since I actually sat down and made a video. I guess the reason being it was the end of summer and we were busy doing things. There was a couple family events going on and just enjoying the last couple of weeks of summer. I took some videos of PEI, Prince Edward Island, and I've been putting those up. They're just fun little, you know, couple minute videos I've been doing, and I might continue doing that. They're not getting a lot of views and things like that, but I think it's kind of nice to show some little shots just from where I live. Um, anyway, so today we're going to do a video on this pen here. This is a Noodler's Ahab, and y'all, if you watch my channel, you probably know I have a thing for black pens, and I found them very attractive. And this is a Noodler's Ahab, and it's, not really black. And I don't find this pen attractive. Matter of fact, I find it. Anyway, what do I find this pen? So I bought this couple of years ago. It was on sale. I got it at a very good price. And what attracted me to it was sort of um, referred to as a flex nib, and well, I have to be honest, I don't find it very flexy. So what do we have? It's a black pen. Well, actually, it's kind of a gray. I don't know the color offhand. I can't remember. It has a steel clip and steel band here. It's made of a plastic, and I tend to like plastic pens. I like resin pens. I like celluloid pens, and I like, you know, uh, there are some metal pens I like. This, however, the plastic really doesn't do anything for me. I don't know what it is. It just, the look of it, maybe, the feel of it, it just never really warmed my heart. And, so it's a good sized pen. And when I got it a couple years ago, it was surprising to me how smelly this pen was. The stink has worn off, as they say, but it's it doesn't smell as bad, but it really did have an odor to it. And that I had another experience with a pen that had an odor to it, but this one really had an odor to it. So I'm gonna go through the pen, tell you what I like, what I don't like, and we'll look at the Noodler Ahab with apparently a flex nib. So Noodler is known for its ink. And on the clip, it says Noodler ink right here. And it says Noodler's ink here. Noodler's ink, yes. So they make their own inks, and they probably have these pens produced somewhere. I don't know, maybe China, maybe India. I'm not too sure. I don't know. If you know where they have their pens manufactured, let me know. Um, I'm in no way an expert on pens, but I really enjoy learning about them, and I try to find out as much as I can. But sometimes, you know, my memory lapses and I can't remember where they were making their pens. But I'm thinking it's in China. So what we're going to do is ink this up, and we're going to do a little ink sample. I haven't actually had it inked up in quite a while, and what I'm going to ink it up with is a Noodler's ink, and I'll probably do a video on this ink. Noodler's ink, and this is Apache Sunset. Now, when I first started getting into fountain pens, Noodler, Noodler's, I keep saying Noodler. Noodler's ink was quite popular, and is quite popular. And one of the inks that always seemed to attract attention and high ratings was Apache Sunset. Now, as you can see, I've used this. The thing about Noodler's inks, when you buy the bottle and you open it up, be aware that it is literally filled to the brim. So when you pull off the cap, be very careful. Otherwise, you will have a bit of a mess because there's not a lot of tiltage. So make sure it's nice and flat and steady. But I've used this ink a few times, and I'll do a video on it and get into it. It's one of those inks that I was really looking forward to trying, and um, it okay. It actually, I should show you this. Now, there is a converter, and it's comes with the pen, which is nice, and it's almost reminds me a lot of say certain Eastern European communist era pens. It has like, or even there's some Italian school pens that use this type of plunging uh, converter, and it almost feels like a syringe style. So you pull this bit, the whatever we call this, the plunger back, and then you push it forward. You don't have to screw it. It's just almost like a syringe. So then you pull it, and it fills up. And now what do you do? Okay, so there we go. Got a fairly good fill. I'm not going to fill this pen up to full. I keep thinking one day I'm going to do a video, kind of a video about, oh, I shouldn't say what it is. It's not necessarily a top 5 pens, but this will be in this video I'm planning on doing. But anyway, I shouldn't talk about that. Anyway, so it has a steel nib. It just says Noodler's ink on it. Again, Noodler's Ink Company. And there's not a whole lot more to say about it. It's a good size nib. It's looks like a number 6. It has a big feed, big plastic. Actually, is that a plastic or an ebonite feed? A big feed, lots of little lots of veins in it there, or fins. And the section is plastic, the body is plastic. I'm assuming it's plastic. Maybe it's resin. I think it's plastic. There's threads right here. One thing I can say about the design is they don't bother me. They're fairly smooth. There's a little step right here, but you don't really feel it when you're holding the pen. There's a good size grip section right here, and we're just going to do the classic, the quick brown fox. Lazy dog. So now, to get flex, I do find when you're just writing with it, you're not going to have a lot of line variation. You do have to push down fairly hard to get flex, but you can get some line variation, but you do have to push down. And it does occur. Cross strokes, down strokes. There's a little variation there. So writing with it, I wouldn't say it's scratchy as such, but it's also it doesn't glide across the page in a pleasant way. It's because you're having to push hard if you want some line variation. It feels sharp in some way, and even when you're just sort of writing with it, there's a resistance there on the nib. Looking at this, I would say this is a fine, and I can't remember what it was. So I'm guessing it's a fine. Now, medium might be different or whatever, but I'm not too sure what nib sizes they come in. Once again, I'm not an expert. I'm just talking about the one I have, and Yeah, so that's the Noodler's Ahab. It does come in other colors. I know. I don't know how many different colors it comes in. I have seen a transparent version of this recently, or one of the Noodlers. I guess it was a Noodler's Ahab, and it looked quite nice. But this gray, you know, I don't know. It just feels, okay. Let's just say it feels okay. It doesn't feel particularly poorly made. That's a fairly smooth. There's a little step right there. Um, the clip is fairly sturdy, but I don't know. Over time, will that snap off? Maybe. It's fairly thin right here. Does the pen post? Not particularly well. It just sort of catches this little area at the end. Um, Looking into it, I guess you know, I like my pens to post, and I guess this does post, but it does become sort of overly large when it posts, right? Um, almost, almost comically large in some ways. I don't have huge hands. I just have regular person hands, and I, I'm into vintage pens a lot, so I like smaller pens, and this isn't. I don't know if this is the largest pen I have, but it is a big pen, and it feels almost back weighted when I'm holding it. The pen isn't what I'd call particularly heavy. It feels just normal. Um, but if I had to say, I would say it's not it's not in my top. Well, it would be in my bottom favorite pens if I was to do such a list, and I probably will. Um, it's just a pen, and it doesn't write. Uh, it's not what I would call a pen that I want to sit down and write a letter with. It's not necessarily a pen I want to sit down and write a journal entry with. I might sign a card with it if I had some colorful inks in it, or something like that. But even then, I've tried a few different shimmer inks in it, and it, I have other pens that work better. And yeah, so that's the Noodler's Ahab. Uh, if you have any information about the colors that they come in, and maybe the nib sizes, if you know where the pen is made, I would like to hear that. I'm always looking for information, and part of the fun of doing this channel is that I get to learn a lot of things from the people who comment and who have you know more information than I do at times, and that's the fun part. So, do you have an Ahab? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What is with the? Did you find that when you first got it? Did it smell? Did it have a strong odor? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, uh, it's September. My kids are finally back to school. They just started yesterday. It's been a kind of a historical week with the passing of Queen Elizabeth and the proclamation of that Charles is now King Charles III. And it's been one of those periods where, when I'm writing in my journal, there seems to be lots of things to write about, uh, personal and historic and world events. And so, anyway, that's what we're doing these days. And I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.